Hello. Getting buffering already. Wow, that's not good. Hi, Alexis Kiri. Hi, Catherine Stubbs. Linda B. Uncover the News. 2535 Apple. Grandmere D. Hi. Sorry for the bit wee late start. I had to go and wake myself up, quick shower, make myself some coffee. Hubby was still fast asleep. I was up till midnight my time with my other hat on, my GIS hat, attending a virtual summit. Second part of it's tonight, so it's really interesting. So yeah, coffee. Yes, I need coffee. Trump Jr deposed. Oh my, that'll be interesting to look at. We're just going to grab a paper here. Oh my goodness, I have notebooks everywhere. Do you think I can find one of them? No, here, this one. No, that's a work one. Nights in White Satin. That's a great song. The original one with the Moody Blues. It was originally released on their Tuesday Afternoon album in 1967. But it wasn't until about 1971, 72 that it really hit the airwaves big time when it broke through in the US. Yeah. Hi, Wendy Kay. Oh, so John Jr. deposed in the inauguration funds case. Hey, inauguration. You'll hear some sizzling in the background. That's just hubby. Hey, you sexy thing, cooking his breakfast. And yeah, I was I think, or 6 months old or something when that album came out. So, but I love it. Pink Floyd, huge Pink Floyd fan. Acquittal from impeachment as a defense in court. Will it work? No. Impeachment as a defense work for Trump in court. I've already said no, but we'll get some more to the yeah, that's weak ass thing. Yeah, new media parliament code. Yep. Yes, I saw a little news grab with DeJoy going to the Democratic member. I'm not going anywhere. Get used to me. So Biden has appointed 3 new board members. I mean, apparently the problems with the US Postal Service go right back to 2006 when Congress passed a few silly things. Surprise, surprise. nominees. Postal Service. Do they have to be confirmed? Does anyone know? Inauguration Fund. Investigation. Will he appear or will he fight it? Well, being deposed, that means he's already been in there, hasn't it? Okay. Hi, Bonnie Russell. Hi, Kathy S. Hi, Kathy W. Hi, Sharon Stipe. Democratic midterm opponent. MKQG. First Democratic midterm opponent. All no education, and you think I would know that opponent starts with O, not A. Sorry, I'm running on fumes. I've had some breakfast. I've got my coffee. Had a quick shower to wake up, but I'm running on fumes here. Gonna need a sleep later. A nana nap. Not a nana, but how about a great auntie nap? Great auntie nap. Hi, Joji. Okay, let's get into it. Yes, they came to some sort of working agreement with Facebook. What is I wonder what the future of Facebook is. Future of Facebook. I heard something that a comment that I've heard a few times, so it's finally starting to sink in. Where Australia goes, many follow, apparently. So will this media agreement, will other countries follow suit? Media code, news content. The biggest thing is news content. Will other countries follow suit? So we'll have a look. Did I say hi, Alexis? Yes. I think there might be a new platform coming up soon that's going to be in line with the media codes. Hi, Anna. Hi, Georgie. I think I said hi to Apple. Just got to call you Apple, darling. I can't read all those numbers at the moment. Okay, we've got quite a bit to go on with. So I want to have a look at the Australian Government Media Code that they've passed, that Parliament has passed. Will other countries follow suit? So I'm starting my own country today. Ooh, The Fed Bank, it was down, was it? The Fed Bank was down. That's in the US. US Fed Bank down for 4 hours. Have they got an explanation yet? Shutdown of the federal bank. Yeah. So anyway, will other countries follow Australia with the implementation of a media code? Hi, Deborah Costro. Said hi to Anna, didn't I? Okay, will other countries guide the highest prison? Will other countries follow Australia's lead? This is the Empress card, often the mothering card. Often the role of a mother is to set examples and nurture along growth and progress. So I feel that maybe that's what the Australian government is doing here. It's setting an example and encouraging growth and progress in the areas of media codes. Technology outstrips other things so quickly. We were actually talking about this last night with geospatial knowledge, that technology is integrating it into rapidly developing technology can be difficult. And the same thing with cards. It seems like with social media, it seems like the governments and everything are 3 steps behind the technology of social media. So encouraging along the progress and the growth of these codes is something that Australia is going to be very much involved in. Yeah, definitely strategies being spoken, and it's not just Australia hasn't just looked within to come up with some of these codes and strategies. They've spoken to their neighbours. They've spoken to other countries in what they would think would be a good thing to put into such codes and stuff. So they've discussed without while developing their strategy. I'm sorry you're not feeling well, Georgie. Rest up. Yeah, Australia has taken the lead in this. You see, this is the card of the 9 of Pentacles. It is also a card of autonomy, but it's also a card of taking control, taking a lead. You know, to the benefit of not just Australia, but much to our benefit, and to because you know a lot of these companies have been accessing Australian resources and coverage and everything that other people have to pay for. So why shouldn't they? So there is definitely a money issue here and an issue of the resources. But you can see that this lady, she has control of the hook of the bird of prey there. She's maintaining control. So this is the aim of the Australian government with this, is to pull in and gain control over the bird of prey that is social media, and it's to date unfettered use of resources that others have had to basically pay for. So you know, they had intense negotiations with Google. Google threatened to pull out of Australia, but they came to an agreement. And they did that with Facebook. Facebook didn't pull out, but they did for a while suspend putting news, suspend all news coverage, Australian news coverage. So, yeah, they are working on, they've passed the code. They are definitely working on with others, and part of the new agreement was to continue in discussions and working with the social media companies with regard to some of these issues. So that offer has been put out to them. You can work with us or you can work against us, and it's always better to work with than against governments. You know, it's, you can see from examples all around, you know, in other countries. Sweetie, could you turn the aircon on? These platforms can be shut out of a country quite easily. There's still negotiation. There's still negotiation. It's just passing this legislation is not a one-stop. This is it, highway or the highway. I think this is the code. We expect people to follow, but we are still working with people and negotiating with these companies to ways in which they can follow and how they can fit in with working with the code with regard to licensing fees, all sorts of things. Yes, there's still debate. There's still going to be debate about this. But it is, overall, the agenda that they have set up with this code is actually a very well thought out and very wise agenda. Now, the question I asked, which I haven't answered yet, which I think I'll go for the bottom line to answer, is will other countries follow with in implementing a similar code to this? Yes, it's definitely getting support. Biden is also looking at it. So even the US may be looking at it as an example of rehashing their code, their media codes and things like that. So it is. There's lots of support from there is support from other countries, and other countries will be following suit. So that's good. I don't know. Canada has what as well, Wendy Kay? There was a comment there from Uncover the News about Biden revoking Trump's proclamation to limit legal migration. By suspending certain. So what has Canada done as well? BRB, where's BRB? Hi, crazy cat lady. Looking at Facebook and the news on there, yeah. Yeah. So has there been any news as to why the Fed went down? That's all right, Georgie. That's all right, Bonnie. It's certainly okay if people come and go. Hello to everyone who's watching as well. I know not everyone comments, pops in the comments, so thank you for joining me. And everyone else who will be watching later, thanks for the thumbs up. Oh, be right back. Oh, okay. I thought there was someone with the initials BRB and I've been missing somebody. Oh my goodness. I'm not up on shorthand, letter shorthand. Having been trained in running analytical and academic things, shorthand, unless it's an acronym for a process or a organization. It's not something I'm used to doing. BRB, be right back. Okay. Hi, Oil Painter. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us again. Oh. Okay, Catherine Stubbs has just asked us to send healing energy to the 12-year-old daughter of a friend of a friend. So we'll send it, who is undergoing rough chemo for 2 forms of childhood leukemia. So how about everyone, we just take about 20 seconds or so and just concentrate on this little child, this 12-year-old that Catherine Stubbs is. So we'll call her Catherine Stubbs, or Catherine Stubbs, 12-year-old girl. And we'll send out a burst of healing energy and positive energy. White for healing, yellow for positivity. To this little girl. And to all other children who are fighting this as well. I will do a meditation. I think I'm going to do a meditation later and send out bursts of energy to all, to children who are suffering this in general. Hi, Laura Carlson. If you have a few minutes, you don't have to do it now. You can just, sit down and concentrate and send out bursts of white light, healing energy, yellow, positive, pink for joy, or those. I have the colours that I use. To me, I've assigned meaning to them. You're too tired to type human generic. Oh my goodness, you've been working on your plumbing all day. Where are you, darling? Are you in Texas? I love Joy. I love Joy Ann Reid. She is absolutely, yeah. And who's the other one? Of course, I love Rachel. There's the other one who, Kelia? Is that her name? She has a segment called The Takedown, and she is epic when she goes after someone. Hi, Eunice Ruffin. When she goes after, she is absolutely epic. What's her name? It's the blonde lady. Oh, Nicole, no, it's not Nicole Wallace. This lady is CNN, and she's absolutely epic. In a minute, I'll have a look. And she does some good takedowns. Yeah, Brianna Keller. When she goes after someone, she pulls no punches. Brianna Keller, she's on CNN. And she is epic at the takedown. So I love that. I just saw a little thing. Why Cruz going to Cancun was so bad. Oh, duh. Yeah, Mika and Joe, they're cool, and Willie. I love it when Joe and Willie start talking baseball and Mika is like, will you stop talking baseball? Oh, that is wonderful. Lawyers working to reunite immigrant parents and children separated by the Trump report that they have found the parents of 105 children in the past month. It's wonderful that they've been found. Hopefully they can be reunited or placed with relatives if for some reason they can't immediately be reunited. That's wonderful news. Anyway, let's have a look. Oh, can somebody ask me if Biden's nominees for board members of the Postal Service, will they have to be confirmed by Congress? Yeah, I heard about the accident. Looks like it was just an accident. I made a rather bad taste joke with my husband, which I won't repeat. But it's a bit unfair. But let's hope that he recovers well from his surgery and pulls through. I mean, he's not exactly a stellar example of a human being in a lot of ways, but you don't want anyone to, you know, have terrible things happen to them just because, you know, they're not the alpha example of all things that people should be, you know. I don't think anyone is the complete example of all things a person should be. I know I'm certainly not. You know, people make mistakes, you know. So hi, Estelle Harrington. Anyway, I put the distraction away. Now, got this list going here. Hi, Shelby Lisa. So, can somebody answer my question for me about Postal Board nominees? Do they need to be confirmed? Will they be confirmed? Anyway, I'm going to ask the question. Will Biden's nominee for 3 nominees for the Postal Services Board I like that. I like that, the trans flag. Will Biden's nominees for the Postal Service Board be confirmed? Yes. Somebody trying to get away with it. They don't require confirmation. That's good. So new leadership. So he's going to, so he's putting in new leadership. You see the sign of renewal here, the little lizard is a sign of renewal, rebirth, regrowth. Part of the aim is to not just fill in the gaps that needed to be filled in, but to stop basically bad decisions that take away from the American people, that steal from the American people. The Postal Service is vital. It's being slowly dismantled and stolen from the American people, and it's got to stop. So that's resources they're going. So yeah, definitely. He's also looking at resources, talking to Congress about resources, possibly. Yeah, there's lots of debate going on at the moment with DeJoy testifying, telling them, I'm not going anywhere, get used to it. The board members can replace him. So he's the Postmaster General, but he's not on the board, I don't think. Yes, they will definitely take up their offers. All three will definitely happy to do the job. Yeah. They're going to give him an offer. DeJoy. They might give him a healthy retirement package. Justified. They're going to be justified in whatever actions they take. There's deception and confusion. This is with the resources. This is deception and confusion. There's theft, deception and confusion about resources and mistakes, repeated mistakes in the running of the post office. Yeah, here's this new leadership. We started out with the new leadership so we started out with a new compassionate leadership. There's justice, and we're ending up with intuitive, firm, compassionate leadership as well. This is also investigative. So once these new members are in, I don't know how many vacancies there are on the board, whether it's just 3 or if there's more, but it's really going to be interesting. Is DeJoy going? I'll have a look. Is Louis DeJoy going to remain as Postmaster General? Let's have a look here. Suspension, his momentum stopped. He is going to be asked to answer for his actions by the new board. He's going to be embattled. Yeah, he might be going. It's going to take a little while, but because this is it. He definitely, yeah. Not over any future plans he might have to overhaul the system, but over what he did with the election. suppose I could. Yeah. I don't try and remember them all anymore. I could knock you all out of the water with the acronyms for my specialty. I suppose I could, yeah. Judy, hello, Judy. Is that Judy Malley? Hey, oh yeah, you got your new car. Vroom. Okay, let's have a look. Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's got her first Democratic midterm opponent up and running. It's up and running, hey? Okay. Is Marjorie Taylor Greene going to lose her seat in the midterms to a Democrat? Marjorie Taylor Greene lose her seat in the midterm to a Democrat? Some people are saying with the midterms that the Democrats aren't going to lose any seats, but they're not going to gain any. So let's see. Will Marjorie Taylor Greene lose her seat in the midterm to a Democrat? She's not going to be happy. She's going to be really surprised. She thinks she's got it. Temperance, that's tamping her down. It's a long way away, so there's lots of things that can happen. Strategy, Empress, yeah. American people don't want her there. They do not want her there. Her strategies and her, it's a big movement to get rid of her. The strategy is not necessarily Democratic either. This is, even though they have their strategy, this could be Republican as well. She is going to be investigated. She's going to be come under investigation. So she might even be booted out before then and someone appointed. There might be a special election. There's definitely going to be a tipping point and a crucial decision made about her. And it will happen quickly. Ooh, ooh. Manipulation, lying. 10, end of the cycle, stab in the back, death of her career. I feel like this should be reversed. There's no reversals in this deck, but I feel like this should be reversed. Loss of position, loss of control, loss of financial loss. She made a big mistake when she ran for Congress. It's possibly going to be the biggest mistake she ever made in her life. Yeah. So she's definitely going to be regretting it. Yeah, I think she's going to get booted out. I don't even know if she's going to complete her term. So I'll have a look at that. Will she complete her term? So let's have a look at how to phrase the question. Will Marjorie Taylor Greene leave office before she completes her term? Marjorie Taylor Greene, Alexis. I think she's going to lose her seat. I think there's a good chance it'll go to a Democrat. Will Marjorie Taylor Greene have to leave before finishing her term? Let's have a look here. I can ask that question too, GM Dave. How are you, Dave? All packed with comments that makes me go, Dave. Okay, will she have to leave before her term is finished? Oh, she's definitely going to be up for some judgment. Definitely some judgment in her future. Resources. Where'd she get her money? And the support. There's support for the idea of her leaving. Oh, she's going to be given an offer she doesn't want. There's definitely something behind campaign funds, I think. Momentum. Judgment. Two major arcana, two high impact cards here. Momentum. There's definitely, and this is on top of the support, there's definitely going to be momentum and support behind her leaving. A lot of people want her gone. Oh, you know what? She's going to end up before a judge. You know what, Dave? I think this has answered itself. There's a good chance she's going to have to leave before the end of her term because she's going to be ending up before a judge. Restrictions. Because she's blind and stupid, acted blindly, and she's painted herself into a corner which could leave her in high legal jeopardy, even in jail. What was on the bottom of that? Past actions coming up to haunt her. Cancun Cruz's future. Cruz, yeah. I am still going to look at the ice. I still haven't gotten around to doing that video I want to do on it. Club for Growth. Isn't that Mercer or something like that? Oh, thank you, Anna. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Cancun Cruises future. Let's have a look at him. It's a different deck, I think. Cancun Cruise. I think that is his new thing. Oh, thank you, Judy. Boebert was another one given money by Club for Growth. What's going to happen with Boebert? I might ask a quick question. Will Boebert retain her seat? Or will she be primaried out or something? Will Boebert last more than one term? She's quieted down a bit, hasn't she? I think she's letting Marjorie Taylor Greene self-employed first. Boebert. What is the future of Lauren Boebert? Yeah. Club for Growth. I might have a look at them. What is this Club for Growth? I have heard of them, but I don't really know much. But I think it's a super PAC, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, it's a super PAC, yeah. Boebert, is she going to survive the midterms? There's some news coming up very quickly, very soon about Boebert. Hawley. I think Hawley's up for re-election next year, isn't he? Oh, okay. So, news, communications, very soon. Exposure, highlight, things coming to light. Oh, yeah, things she wanted to keep hidden. Lies and deceptions. Light being shone on lies and deceptions. Loss and regret. Ooh. New journey for her. These are high impact cards. High impact cards. Ooh. Theft. Strategy. Packing her bag and wagon and going home. Critical decision. Look what she got. Now, I did a good shuffle with these cards. Boebert got the same card. Oh, Biden. She was involved. I think it's going to come out she was involved with the riot, which would be no surprise to anyone. Burden, huge burden for her, and the end of a journey. Ooh, 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 ooh. She has got, yeah, money. Yeah. She was involved in trying to steal Biden vote, victory, and abuse of her position. Wow. There have been some very smart cheerleaders in the world. Some of them have even become president. In the traditional role of cheerleaders, I think a lot of people see cheerleaders as like the girls in the skimpy outfits and all that go onto the football fields and stuff. But no, there's been some really, yeah, Club for Growth. Let's see if we can, $1 million each, hey? Shouldn't there be caps on campaign contributions from super PACs? Like a single super PAC, shouldn't there be a cap or something? I think they're going to have to. I'm going to ask the question. Will there be an overview? Oh, yes, I've got John Jr. Top here. Indictment. He's been deposed in the inauguration front. So there's always that one in the movies. Isn't there a movie with Megan Fox where she starts, it's called Jennifer's Body or something, and she's a cheerleader or something like that? Will there be an overhaul of campaign finance laws? Will there be an overhaul of campaign finance laws? New limits. Oh, they're definitely. What's on the bottom? Talk. Depositions, talk. Whistleblowers come up. This is a yes card. There's definitely going to be, and it's gonna apply to all parties. So both major parties and all others as well. Yes, it's justified. There's definitely going to be a justified overhaul of campaign finance laws. needs to be done. There a Federal Election Commission or something like that? But it's definitely, it's a way to weaken it'll be because there's too many partnerships developed through campaign finances for people to help carry out the agenda of other people. So too many partnerships. Yeah, there's definitely going to be review. Looking back, it's going to go back a long way to. Yeah, there's definitely going to be very strong support for that. When it will be, I don't know. And the major arcana, maybe a bit further in the future. Definitely loss, regret, crying over spilt milk. It's not a matter of crying over spilt milk. It's a matter of much needed review. Embattlement. It's a fight. It's an ongoing fight to get corporate things out, including super PACs. Okay. The review, it's definitely this is a retirement of at least 4 people and something to do with campaign finance. It is especially huge problem in the Republicans at the moment. That doesn't mean the Democrats haven't been in their own time. It's not been problematic with the Democrats as well. It probably still is, but at the moment it is a huge impact. This need for, it's very largely driven by Republican campaign politics. Yeah, there's going to be someone put on it. It's going to be very smart person, possibly quite young. Yeah, and investigations, intuitive investigation. I think they're going to put in a very young team with a very, very wise leader, but there's definitely with a very wise leadership, with established leadership. So this is a start young. This is more established, much more established leadership. But the team that's going to be on it is going to be very young, very smart, have a real vested interest in the future. It's no good putting 60, 70, 80-year-olds on this. You've got to put young people on this who have a real vested interest and who are going to be affected by elections for the next 30, 40, 50, 60 years even. And they need to be in on the bottom ground, on the ground floor of this. Young and bright with firm established leadership guiding them. And I do think there's going to be at least 4 people who have to leave due to campaign finance. Okay, Cruz and Deborah, you're not well, darling. Oh, caught you on the scratching your cornea. Oh, that is so painful, I should imagine. Hubby has a scar on his right eye where some glasses got broken and it sliced into his eye, and he had to get 6 stitches in his cornea. And it still bothers him to this day. And he was like a teenager or something when that happened. I didn't know him. And yeah, so so yeah, rest your eye, darling. Rest your eye. Put the drops in, rest, and put a patch on if you have to. You can dress up as a pirate for the day. Put on the patch and just, yeah. Anything. I mean, I had a few of my hair. I'm growing it out, but until it grows out properly, it can brush across the eye, and it hurts even to have a hair brush across the eye. You know, never mind a bloody stick. Hawley, Hawley, lovers deals. I was reading the comment on Hawley, Kathy W. Comment to Laura Carlson. Hawley is very scary. He wants to be president, and this flew out of the deck while I was shuffling it. He definitely wants to be president, and he is willing to make any deal he has to do that. So let's have a look at Cruz and Hawley. Almost healed. Yay! I'll put the patch in for another day. Dress up as a pirate and put it in. Oh, you love my hair today. You should have seen it before I had a shower. It was like bad Madam Mim all over the place. I hope you guys aren't just a little bit of stuttering happening here. If it gets worse, I'll just pop out and come back in. So let me know if it gets worse. Okay. Oh, yeah, my French patty clip. I have a yellow one too. Read on CPAC and Trump. CPAC. I'm trying to remember what CPAC is. What's CPAC? Is that the March 4th? America hats. That's a good term for them. CPAC. What's CPAC? I'm not familiar with the hopefully that's still a little bit stuttery. Hang on. I'll shut off a couple of things. Yeah, I went out and I went back in. So hopefully I've just shut down a couple of things. And hopefully that'll stop that. Look, shut down another page. Shut down everything. That's StreamYard. Hopefully that's going to solve things. There you go. Yeah, I got the black screen. Thought it was best to go out and go back in because I was frozen like this. No, like one of those dolls that you buy from one of those shops. I was like, and I'm like, no. Yeah, work on your swagger. Okay. Don't have to grow a mustache. There were women pirates. There were quite a few women pirates. You can dress as Anne Bonny. She's the most famous. But there were quite a few female pirates out there. And they were just as dangerous and just as large and in charge as the men. It was very democratic on those ships, apparently. So captain was usually elected or confirmed. It was quite a decent exercise in democracy. But when you consider some of the people maybe Trump's the reincarnation of Blackbeard, Edward Teach. Political Action Conference on this weekend. Trump is speaking at it. Oh, God. CPAC. Okay, so let's have a look. It's usually a pretty big deal. I don't think Mike Pence is eager to go anywhere near Trump, and his silence on what happened on that day and the fact that he had to step up after January 6th and basically take over running the government is huge. He's chief of staff at the time, did a very, very Trump apologist interview, but I think Pence is saying don't want to. Pence is going through a lot. He's going through a lot, and I just think he's like, yeah. How big? I thought he'd gone downhill since his life is Caligula. Anyway, the CPAC, the Marga's going to. What is going to happen with CPAC this weekend? Oh yeah, that poor flag. That poor flag. It probably loosened itself from whatever pole it was on and floated away in the breeze to try and forget. Oh, CPAC. What's going on with CPAC? Interesting. This is associated with the upcoming CPAC. There's momentum on the bottom. Victory. He's going to talk about how his victory was lost and how he really won. But then this, the Conservative Action Conference, right? Conservative Political Action Conference. Yeah. They generally gather to discuss a lot of things. Details. Lots of work to do. Agreements, partnerships, relationships. The Queen of Swords, words, thoughts, truth, resources, burden, end of the cycle, betrayal, past actions and review, prosecution, judgment, devil to pay. This is interesting. This started with this and it ended with this. And I'm talking about the CPAC conference. CPAC. This weekend. Judgment. Prosecution. Answering questions. It wouldn't surprise me if this is the last CPAC for quite a long time, if ever. There's definitely some investigations happening here. Betrayal. Judgment. The devil to pay. The ending of something, irreversible change. This is irreversible change that can't be avoided. So the CPAC, as it is, as it has been, this is quite possibly the last one. The future of it is definitely up in the air. I think there might be I think there might be trouble with funding. Review of funding. Truth coming out. This is something that really has been a burden to the Republican Party for a long time. And I think there's a lot of Republicans that aren't going to turn up. It's going to be very much a Trump show. But I think there are investigations happening into the last few CPAC conferences and who attended, what was spoken about. There's definitely something happening with them. Yeah. It's definitely a murky future for CPAC. As it is, in the form it is, and with the people associated with it, I think that it might be kaput. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Might bring up Cruz. Let's have a look at what's in store for Cruz in the immediate future, hey? Let's see what's in store for Cruz the immediate future. Yeah, there was definitely, I just thought, well, what's in store for this weekend, and all those cards came out. Yeah. Ted Cruz, what's in store for him in the immediate future? Cancun cruise is not going away. It's flipped out that way. So this flipped out that way. It's causing a huge distraction for him. He's like, oh, what do you mean? Blah, 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 blah. You know, like the big kid in class, just trying to distract people from what he did wrong by saying, but you know, I'm popular, I'm the big name, and things like that. But he's destructive and distracting and disruptive, and it's causing him a lot of disruptions. What's on the bottom? Oh, forced isolation. Interesting. His challenge is to avoid investigation, to hold back questions and investigations on something. It's not necessarily Cancun. It's causing a huge distraction for him. At the base of this is really, really bad anxiety, lots of sleepless nights. This is bad enough. This is that compounded by 10, you know. I think he feels he's in deep trouble over something. Past actions leading up to where he is. Ooh. Loss of faith in American voters. This Cancun trip might have turned a lot of Texans against him. Enough that, you know, the cause for him to resign are not going away. Not going away. Conflict debate. Oh, he's got a lot of conflict happening, much more than you can see. And he's trying to distract from the cause for his resignation, this and that, by being a pain in the ass in the confirmation hearings and in other hearings.
His immediate future, there are consequences for your actions. So he's going to start feeling the consequences for his actions with that. What's in his environment? Whistleblower? Someone talking. He can't talk his way out of things. Whatever is coming out, whoever is going to be coming out and talking about his actions, Cruz is not going to be able to smarm his way around them. What other people see? They see someone who's no longer able to pull the wool over the voters' eyes. The voters would believe whatever he wanted them to believe. He'd look wherever he wanted them to look. But he abandoned them. And they all know that he had no intention of flying back the next day. They all know he was booked for a return flight several days later. So he's no longer able to pull the wool out of people who have supported him for years, and they're pissed. What are his hopes? He's hoping that people in the voters in Texas, people in Texas, will move on from what they feel is his betrayal to them. Skipping off to Cancun while people in his state were dying, not just from coronavirus, but from freezing temperatures, no power, no water, no gas. He's hoping people will move on from that and let go of the anger from that. This is moving on and letting go of the sense of betrayal and anger. That's what he hopes is going to happen. What he fears is that that's not going to happen. And like he left them in the cold, they're going to leave him in the cold. What's the outcome for Cruz in the near future? And this is a near future reading. So what's the outcome for Cruz? Outcomes, tipping point, a tipping point. Oh, hi, thank you, Laura. He has, Laura Carlson, thank you. His actions were a tipping point. Loss of faith of the American, no, this is Queen of Cups, sorry. He's seen as having abandoned them. There's two ways you can view this card in the traditional mothering sense, Queen of Cups sense. Of course, there's this way, nurturing, being there for family, friends, constituents, encouraging, nurturing them. There's two ways you can see this. It's either smothering or abandonment. This is abandonment. They feel like he abandoned them. Oh, momentum. Momentum. There is momentum for what? For what? What is the momentum that is building? There is momentum building, and this is a high impact card. The momentum. Nine of Pentacles upright. Momentum is building against him, but he's still able to hang in there despite momentum. What is this momentum about? Let's get another deck. But he's still going to be able to hang in there for a while. So he's not going anywhere quickly. But what is that momentum about? So there is building momentum, but he's still hanging in there. He's still sitting there. He still thinks he's sitting pretty. He still thinks they'll forgive him. But what is this momentum about? What is this building momentum about? What is this? Oh, yellow rose in a bunker. Sorry, guys. I haven't got fuzzy teeth this morning. Sorry, guys. Ooh, ooh, ooh. There is building momentum. Momentum is building for Four of Swords. Retirement retreat. Retirement from institutions. Thank you, oil painter. Retirement from the limelight. There's momentum building in Texas for him to resign. That more and more calls are coming through. Oh, see. We'll check in on him in another few days, I guess, and see if that goes anywhere. Again, guys, thank you for the support and for the donations. I'm humbled that you like what I do, enough to feel that you can support me in that way. The encouragement I got from you even before I started accepting them is amazing and always has been, and I'm humbled by it. Oh, hello to everyone else who's watching. Hi, Sharon Stanley. Welcome. I've seen your name before, but welcome back to the comment. Now, let's have a look at Hawley. What is in Hawley? Oh, I just split the deck. And I said, let's have a look at Hawley. And look what was on the bottom where I split the deck. And conflicts. Let's have a look at what was on, what this card is where I split the deck. No longer able to pull the wool over people's eyes. Wow, this is going to be an interesting reading. Whitby is adorable. He is my Bubba boy, our Bubba boy. He is a huge light in our life, same as Cameo. Gma5, dyed your hair. What colour? I have to keep an eye just when I get a notification sometimes because I have, you know, some elderly relatives. So sometimes I have to check. No, yes, no, that's all right. Yeah. Just a light golden brown. I'm sure you look absolutely gorgeous, Gma. Okay, Josh Hawley. Look what was on the bottom. Let's have a look at what's going on with him. We'll do a cross for him. Look at what's on the bottom for Josh Hawley. Now, remember, I said I just cut the cards to do that flip thing, and on the bottom was, you know, and it's still there. Oh, you'll never guess what the top card was. No longer able to pull the wool over his eye, over the people's eyes. What's his challenge? Ooh. His challenge is His challenge is to remain in harmony with the Republican Party. I think a lot of the Republican Party is getting ready to move on, and he's not. Look like a princess. Ah, that's so sweet. Surely. And what's in store for him in a while. And this is the second major arcana, so it's high impact. The Fool reversed. He is in no way prepared for what is going to be coming at him. I think I've gotten that card with him before. But again, it's a major arcana, so the time-wise it's a little bit further in time than, even though this is for the next few weeks or whatever. Past actions leading up to the present. Corruption. His actions being led by corruption and has led to corruption. Supporting corruption. Supporting corruption. Above him, lies and deceptions and a spy in the camp. There's going to be a whistleblower, I think. In his immediate future, chaos, investigations, chaos, confusion. Here it is. He's in no way prepared. It's going to catch him completely off guard. He's in no way prepared for what's coming at him, and it's going to have a high impact on him. What's in his environment? Group work, disintegration of group work. This is the Three of Pentacles. Disintegration of group work. So chaos, the Knight of Swords, reversed, investigated. Disintegration of group work, also dirty money. I wonder if this is campaign finances. I'll have a read on that soon. What do people see? Way! People see someone who made a deal with the devil, and it is time for him to go. Be removed. His influence removed. High impact card. What are his hopes? Oh, he's hoping he can get away with it. He is hoping he can get away with it, whatever it is he's done. And it's more than just, you know, supporting Trump. He's done something. But his fears is that people are going to get into the detailed campaign finance. What's the outcome in the next few months for Josh Hawley? Ten of Wands reversed, dropping the bundle, not being able to carry on, being forced retirement, truth coming out, dirty money, just definitely attached to campaign finances, mistakes, and it's going to go back quite a while. Oh yeah, forced abandonment. He might end up being forced to resign in the next few months. Wow. We'll see how that plays out for Josh Hawley, won't we? I love the sound of that too. We'll see what happens. We'll see if that comes out. Now, let's have a look at I am leaving the Trumps till last, okay? I haven't forgotten John Jr. and this ridiculous defense of being acquitted for impeachment means means he's being acquitted for everything. Impeachment is a political process, not a criminal one. He doesn't seem to understand that. Future of Facebook. Let's have a look at that. Elon Musk, and he's moved to Texas. Is he moving himself there, or is he moving headquarters there? Hi, Geek Hillbilly. How you going? Absolutely stellar to see you here. Hi, James Lee. Haven't seen you for a while. You're warm for once after living for half a week inside of a freezer. A week and a half inside. Well, I'm glad you're warm. I'm glad you're warm. Human generic, big kiss out. Big kiss to you for memorializing your friend in such a wonderful way. Still moving company to Texas. Okay, Elon Musk. Tesla move to Texas. Come on. I've got yes going through my mind, but I'll have a look, do a few cards on that in a little bit. Now I'm going to have a look at the future of Facebook, and having just haven't finished yet, haven't finished the shuffling yet, so I like to get the cards well and truly shuffled. Interesting. New journey. I'll cut the cards there. Okay, Facebook, what's on the bottom? Economic loss, lost opportunities, lost opportunities. Ace of coins reversed, lost opportunities. Financial loss. Okay, center of this, resources, resources, resources. Many resources. What is the challenge for Facebook? Yeah, the challenging is standards and rule of law, codes. Of course, that does not surprise me. The Australian government introducing the media code. More governments are going to introduce standards and rules with media codes, and that is a challenge for them. That is going to be a big challenge for them. Because if they have to spend money for content, that impacts their bottom line. Forced abandonment at the base. Forced abandonment. That's interesting. Oh, actions leading up to the present have led to changes that they cannot avoid, and irreversible changes at that. So they're looking at irreversible changes that they cannot avoid. And that is a high impact card, along with this. 2 high impact cards. Embattlement. So underneath at the base is forced abandonment. Above it is embattlement. They're the 2 of the biggest, most powerful positions. Immediate future for them. Oh, looking at abuse of position, abuse position. Now, this could be a lot to do with campaigns, political campaigns, and influencers are not shutting down those influencers when they should have. Twitter should have acted sooner too. Twitter acted first, then Facebook lagged behind. So that is definitely going to be investigations into that. In the environment for Facebook. Now, this isn't Mark Zuckerberg I'm looking at. This is Facebook. Okay? The future of Facebook, not necessarily Mark Zuckerberg. In the environment, there's a feeling that they're being treated unfairly, that these demands for feeds for news content that other people have to pay for are not justified. So they're really feeling a little bit sorry for themselves at Facebook at the moment. Night, Oil Painter. Thank you very much for joining us and for the support. What do people see when they look at Facebook? They see someone they see an organisation that is basically riding for a fall. Consequences. There have to be consequences for their action. They are riding for a fall, as the saying goes. Very much leaning back today, aren't I? Boo-hoo, Facebook. Yeah. What are the hopes of Facebook? Wow. The hopes is that they can avoid the long dark night of the soul and the end of a cycle. And I think this is the end of a cycle where they're the major power player in social media. I think this is what they're hoping to avoid. Their fears. This is interesting. Their fears are the wish card. Granting of wishes, granting merchants. Their fears that they are going to have to pay for content like other merchants. And that's already partly been realised with the Australian government. Their fears that this is going to build and build and build over and over. What is the outcomes for Facebook? Thing went through my mind. They're going to need to get rid of Zuckerberg. A new start, a new journey, a high impact new start, fresh start, high impact. Does this mean getting rid of Zuckerberg? That will be interesting. Even though he is the majority shareholder, I think. Oh, there is going to be a time of confusion, delusion, gaslighting. They're going to have to work through quite a bit of this. They really have to look at top down here. Investigations. Debate and conflict, internal debate and conflict, internal gaslighting, internal investigation, new start. Are they going to be investigating Zuckerberg within the company? He does. Reminds me of Jared Kushner, actually. Oh, group money, dirty money. I was looking at this new start. Here he is again. This new start is going to have irreversible changes that cannot be avoided. And I said, are they looking at Mark Zuckerberg? And yes, there is a group looking at Mark Zuckerberg. Manipulation. His manipulation. Facebook is a publicly listed company, isn't it? Transition to a new start. Offer to somebody. Is Facebook a publicly listed company? Look. Yeah, so they're publicly listed. It's a publicly listed company. So the is it the FCC over there? I'm not quite sure who does that, or the regulations. There's definitely going to be an investigation into them, and it's going to cause some internal conflict. I think Mark Zuckerberg is going to be on his way out. Hi, Renee Rogers. Cyborg. That's being mean to cyborgs. Really interesting. We'll see what happens. Wow. Interesting times ahead for Facebook, and high impact times ahead for Facebook. They own Instagram as well. I will look at Mark Zuckerberg's future another time. But yeah, there's definitely coming up for him. Hi, Judy Wilson. Thank you. You're a Kiwi. So you're over in New Zealand, hey? Few hours ahead of me. And thank you for joining the conversation. Yeah. Okay, Tesla. Tesla's still going to be moving to Texas. Hi, Clarence. You go, Georgie, with Moon and Clarence. Be prepared. Moon! I love seeing that. That brings a smile to my face every time you two do that. I'm sure others enjoy seeing it too. Okay, this Tesla still moving to Texas. Elon Musk still moving Tesla to Texas. He's got some questions about the power grid. Yeah. The loss of power that's left some questions in his mind. There are some questions about it. It's basically what happened with the power failure is highlighted some issues that need to be addressed. So there's still a couple of issues. This is often the card of theft, but it's also a card of strategy. So he has most of the things in place in order to fulfill this strategy of moving to Texas, but there are still a couple of areas, and these were highlighted with the huge power failures. Unless he moves to the air like El Paso or somewhere which is connected to the eastern grid. Queen of Cups. He is very much mama bear about his company. So he wants everything to be the best it can be before he does anything. But yet he still supports the idea very, very, very much, and there's still a lot of support from Texas for it. Knight of Pentacles, but he has pulled back on the reins a little bit. He has slowed things down. This business with the power grid, power failure has slowed things down a little bit. Yeah, this business with the power failure, unless it can be resolved, they might have to withdraw from that move. I'm not a huge fan of Elon Musk as a person. I find him a bit smarmy, but he is very visionary, very committed, values the community. So, you know, as the businessman he is, and the visionary he is, and the genius that he is, I've got an admiration for him. Personally, I find him a little bit cute, but that's just, but you can separate one from the other. And if you can't do that, if you're willing to dismiss someone because you might personally find him a bit of a ew, then you could be dismissing ideas and growth and technology and losing out on these things. So it's really important to clarify and separate a visceral reaction from what they actually do, from their actions and what they actually do. Some people are just, no, he's not nasty. I just find him a little bit. I think it's the way he holds his head. It's like a bit condescending. I'm smarter than everyone else, and yes, he is. but that can turn people off a bit. He is assessing. It's also a reap what you sow. This has highlighted huge problems for him. A huge problem. So this review. Three of Wands. Yeah, again, I do think that eventually the strategy, the plan will be enacted, but there's going to be a bit of a delay and it might be a while. But yeah, but there is consideration. But he is definitely keeping things close to his chest at the moment. Things have definitely slowed down. There's definitely been a need for a review. There's definitely been some problems highlighted with the power failures. So it's not just 2 parts of his strategy that need review. It could even be 4 parts. So one more line. Knight of Cups. The offer is still there. He is brain. He is, yes, as I said, very much. It's his company and he nurtures it and he is the rule there. Temperance. So there's going to be a need for patience. But I do think it will happen, but not as quickly as people hoped it was. This business with the power failures and everything has really thrown up a few obstacles or a few concerns to him. So, but I do think eventually it will happen. New project in the move to Tesla. Yeah. Well, there you go. If he's not moving Tesla, then yeah. But his new project. Okay, that's fine. Thanks for that clarification. But this move to Texas, I was looking at the move to Texas. There's a few issues and delays because of the power outages. Okay, let's move on to El Strumpet. First, Will Trump's defense that I was acquitted in the impeachment. They acquitted me, so it proves I did nothing wrong. Will Bleep's defense that he was acquitted, he was not convicted. But he wasn't entirely acquitted either. They didn't have enough to throw him out and convict him and throw him out. They were, yeah, but it was the most bipartisan vote to convict ever. Will that defense hold up in a criminal court of law? Overflow of emotion. All I could think of was laughter, 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 laughter. No. I don't think we need to go any further. No. It's not going to help him get out of it in any way. The resources are dwindling. It is a defense that no judge is going to want to hear. We're not even going to bother looking at that, you know. That's just the most ridiculous defence. So this is all you have to offer. They're dismissing it. No, it's not going to hold up. Well, he'd be wise if he was going to move to Texas to go to El Paso, because El Paso is on the eastern grid. It's one of two small areas of Texas that are connected to the eastern grid, or western grid, sorry, western grid. Yeah, he was going to move there. He'd be wise to move there. Okay, Trump Jr. He was deposed. Now, being deposed, I'm just going to clarify. Deposed. So he was deposed. He was examined under oath. You will be brought into a room with attorneys from both sides sworn in, and a court reporter will record everything you say as you are grilled by lawyers. You will be asked to recall minute details regarding an incident that might have happened months ago or years even. So he was deposed. What is going to be the outcome of this for Don Jr.? Thank you, Sherry French. It's getting everywhere. Okay, John Jr. What happened with the deposition? Things brought to life. Things brought to life. Three of Cups. Support. He was deposed about the inauguration fund investigation. Knight of Pentacles. His lawyers tried to slow things down. Support. This would be the inauguration fund, I guess. Magician. He tried to misdirect. Look here. Ooh. He tried to misdirect. He was a naughty boy. And this is, remember, this is a major arcana. This is a high impact action of his. He tried to misdirect away from inauguration funds and what happened to those resources. Again, his lawyers tried to slow things down. His lawyers are trying to delay investigation, delay, hold back. Oh no, that's Cups, sorry. No, he was made an offer. He was made an offer in that deposition. That his lawyers still tried to slow things down. Seven of Cups. He tried to gaslight, lie. He lied. He is going to reap what he sows. He is going to. The world. Wow. This is other countries. His lawyers tried to slow down questions about offers or gifts. Part of the Knight of Cups is bringing a gift, one aspect from overseas, which is, of course, illegal. King of Pentacles. Yeah. Who was in charge? He lied and tried to misdirect about who was really in charge of decisions being made. The rule of law. Yep, the rule of law is going to come down on him. This is a high impact card. 3 high impact cards here so far. Queen of Wands, he is open to further investigation. And Ace of Pentacles. Yeah. Who did they accept money from? Yeah, he tried to lie, misdirect, and generally stuffed up his chances. Is he going to be indicted with regard to the inauguration investigation? Got enough indictments to worry about. But will Don Jr. be indicted regarding the inauguration funds investigation? Will Don Jr. be indicted over the inauguration? Will Don Jr. be indicted over inauguration funds? Let's have a look. Will Don Jr. be indicted over inauguration funds? I got Ivanka. Well, the question is, will Ivanka? So I'll look at that question too. He'll be out in the cold. He's left himself nowhere to go. He is barely hanging on there. Will he be indicted? That is a big yes. High impact. This is America. And there'll be ties. Whoop, yeah, that's a no card, but it deals with the devil. Resources, abuse of power. Tower moment. Yes, it looks like he might be. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 no's. The rest are yeses and might be. But the no's are the devil and the tower. Hung out to dry. Yeah, he's going to end up being indicted. Him and another person, and I think that might be Ivanka. Is this other person Ivanka? We'll have a look. This is just the campaign finance. This is just the inauguration fund investigation. Will the other person in this partnership to be indicted? Is that Ivanka? Patsy Cline was awesome. Will that be Ivanka? There's going to be lots of communication, momentum, maybe quicker than we think. Yes, overflowing emotions. 9 of Pentacles. Yeah. 9 of Pentacles. Yes, the princess who has control. She's going to be indicted over that. Yeah, it's a strong case against her. She's in for There's a strong case against her. She's in for a very anxious time. She's going to try and cause a lot of kerfuffle, fuss, isolation, Four of Cups, an office she doesn't want. Time at so much. 3 no's. Yeah, no. She's definitely in for a tough time. I think Ivanka's going to be indicted as well over the election campaign finance, not the inaugural fund investigation. Okay, my darlings. I think I'm going to wrap it up there now. Planning to join you on Sunday. I might pop in a bit before then, we'll see. My favourite John Denver song was Calypso, which was, of course, about Jacques Cousteau's boat. I love that song. That's my favourite John Denver song. The other one being Some Days Are Diamond, Some Days Are Stone. And I have a fly flying around here. You didn't hear that last word. Thank you, everyone, for your time and support today. Please stay safe, stay strong, stay loving, and we'll see you in a few days. Bye-bye.